everyone, next up on our guided tour we have the legendary painting by Dark Artist, which is the ecoledezone. Notice how all the individual lines lead towards a central focus point, which promotes spontaneous combustion. Alrighty everyone, well if you'll now follow me to our very reasonably priced gift shop, we can get along with this tour.
YouTube, it's me, Spooky Memphis, here with the 100 days of Yu-Gi-Oh, where every day for 100 days, we're dueling with a different deck every day. Today is the 74th day of the 100 days, and we're taking a look today at a deck focused around this field spell, ecoledezone, which is it's a field spell that destroys monsters that get summoned, and then replaces it with tokens. So it's a card that's good for interrupting my opponents, and we're focused today on actually destroying our own monsters. So we have a lot of Unchained cards, and we have a lot of the Fire King monsters as well, so that if my cards get destroyed, I can actually get more cards out of it. So it's a very nice deck that we've built today, where we're going to show off the combos and wombos and the what do's and what not do's, and we'll have ourselves a good time, I'd say. So we have our deck here today thanks to Mr. Claranus, who wanted us to take a look at this deck with the ecoledezone, along with the other field spell, which is multi-universe, and we're going to be showing this deck off in Duels on yugioh Pro, where we'll try to summon out all the monsters we can and do all the different combinations of cards this deck can do. So, as always, if you want to know the whole deck profile, it will be at the end of the duels today. For now, please consider hitting the like button and also commenting and subscribing if today's duels are, if you enjoy what we do today. So, just keep that in mind as we go into the duels today. And let's go ahead and get started and show what this deck is capable of. Alright everyone, it's time for our first opponent. Another day and another card game. And we're going to attempt to go first with this deck. You do want to try and go first with this deck as much as you can. Because it's very important for the field spell that we do that. And, you know, because we're trying to destroy my opponent's cards and stuff using ecoledezone, and at some point me and my opponent will decide who gets to go first. Okay, they get to decide. That's okay. I can play. Oh, I'm gonna get to go first. Okay, that's fine. Let's see. Let's see. Can't summon that. Can summon that. I'll start by summoning my Fire King Courier. I don't have my field spell, unfortunately, but I think that's okay. I'll at least attempt to do this. We're going to activate our Fire King's Kieran's effect. I can destroy my Volcanics to summon out my Kieran. So even though he'll stop Volcanics' first effect, I'll still get to summon out Garnix from my deck. That way I can at least start the duel. So with that in mind, I don't know what my opponent's playing or anything. So I'm going to start with this monster. I'm going to summon Sanafon the Sky Prison, because at the very least this will hopefully slow my opponent down a little bit, stop them from summoning lots of monsters from the graveyard, and I'll end my turn. For now, that'll have to do. The best combos in this deck always happen when you have ecoledezone. Because basically how the spell works is that if either player summons a monster, exactly one monster on their turn, the first one, it'll be destroyed and replaced with a token. The token, basically, it's just a level 1 token. It matches the stats of the monster in terms of their attack and defense. But more importantly, a lot of our cards like to be destroyed by card effect. So that's ultimately what we want to do, is to summon out our monsters when we have our field spell. Like, for example, I have the Unchained Rakea monster. So if I had ecoledezone, I could have summoned Rakea, and it would have been destroyed, and then I would have been able to summon out another monster. So that would have been really good. So what is my opponent doing? Oh yeah, he can't summon a monster from the grave because of my Sky Prison. He can, let's see. Oh, he banished Xanathon. That's unfortunate. Not a huge problem, I don't think. But it wasn't very good either, so we'll see. I could really use my ecoledezone though, that would be really useful. So, what is this? Psychic Rover. This card's summoned, roll a 6-sided die. Okay, so he's not going to use that effect. Okay. So, I'll take damage, but I think I was able to do something because of Xanathon. We'll find out in a minute, I think. So these are psychic monsters, so oh, Xanathon comes back, okay. That's nice. Let me think about this. If I activate Kirin... Okay, we're gonna activate our Fire King Kirin again, and I can destroy my Arvada monster. Because this will get me another monster back from my graveyard. So, I think its effects are negated. Yeah, it is. So, I need to summon Garnix. That's something. And with that in mind, I think I'll summon out this monster, Lancelot. Because it's going to attack directly, and it has a once per turn negation to it. So, I think that'll be good for the moment. I'll summon out my Rakea monster just in case. And let's attack our opponent directly with Lancelot, because that's what he can do. So it's nice to see that our deck is working despite not having ecoledezone. I mean, you know, you always want to have it, but sometimes it doesn't happen to be in your hand. But that's okay. So let's just attack our opponent with everything, and that should be the game, because he can't use his face down, basically. So we'll end our turn here with taking out my opponent's life points. So a good show. This is how our deck is meant to play, just standardly. You know, I'm able to summon out my Fire King monsters, and you know, summon out lots of level 8 Xyz monsters, or rank 8. I'm sorry, it's rank 8 monsters. And then when the Unchained monsters come in, that's when I can summon my Link monsters. But I really want to activate my field spell, so let's go for duel number 2. Keep doing what we're doing, but I'd like to see the field spell so I can show off what that's meant to do. Alright everyone, it's the second opponent. Let's go do it again. I gotta say that with a little more enthusiasm next time, I think. Anyway, so we're going second here, and where is my field spell? I run a lot of the field spells, so I don't know why I'm not drawing the card. But we'll see. I mean, I do get to draw for going second, so maybe I'll draw it. That would be good. As to what my opponent is playing, the Blue Eyes White Dragon monsters, which is pretty neat. I think these do a lot of like big monsters on the board. I really wish I could have had my field spell. I could have stopped at least maybe a little of this. Maybe just a little bit of it, not a lot, but we'll see. Alright, so you're going to bring back out a Blue Eyes monster. Okay. So Blue Eyes White Dragon. And then Roar of Blue-Eyed Dragons, which summons Jet Dragon. Okay. Alright. At the start of the damage step... Oh, but you're gonna exceed summon. Okay. So you'll summon out Hope Harbinger. Okay. I mean, I think that's okay. I mean, I don't have any spells at the moment, so it's not like a bad thing, I don't think. Let's go ahead. Again, the Kirin monster is being very useful today. I can just destroy my monsters and then summon it out. And thankfully, I've destroyed my courier again. So far, we're seeing a lot of the Fire Kings, but I really want to summon out my field spell and stuff. Because like I said, that is the idea of this deck, is I'm trying to do that. Let's see. Let's see. I'll summon out this monster, Garunix Eternity. When it's summoned out, I can destroy all the monsters on the field. So I'll try to destroy his Hope Harbinger Dragon. And thankfully that doesn't activate the Jet Dragon's effect. Let me think here. Does this work on... let's see. If a card is destroyed... Okay, so if I destroy him right now, that's bad. Let's just attack then. I'd rather not destroy his cards if I don't have to. So I'll attack with Garunix Eternity. He'll use the True Light Trap card, okay, to summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon. Okay. I guess that's what it is. Well, I guess now is a better time than not to go ahead and do this. I'll destroy his trap card. Because when the trap is destroyed, he'll lose all of his monsters. I mean, the Jet Dragon will return to the field. I can't really do much about that. But we'll see where this goes. Let's see. Alright, here's what we'll do. I'm going to set a card face down and normal summon my twins Rakea. When Rakea is on the field, I can destroy a face down card, or any card I want actually. But if I destroy an Unchained card, it'll actually summon another Unchained monster from my deck, so I can summon out Unchained Servara. And with that in mind, I could summon out the Soul of Anguish and just, I think that's probably the best move here. So we'll summon out Unchained Soul of Anguish. Servara will search me another card and I'll get, I guess I'll get Escape of the Unchained so I can destroy things, I think. I think that sounds right. But let's go ahead and use these two monsters to summon out our biggest Link monster, the Unchained Abomination. With that, I'll end my turn. And he used the Jet Dragon already, so I don't think he can do that again this turn. Yeah, so that'll get rid of his field spell, so it's at least something. Alright. I think that's good to start off here. I have my Unchained Abomination, and he can search Burst Stream of Destruction. Okay. I mean, if I have to, well, actually, let's see. Fusion summoning a monster, including a Blue Eyes monster. Light and Darkness Dragon Lord. You can just do that in one card. Okay. You do know you negate your own cards, right? I don't think you knew that. Yeah, but because Dragon Lord's effect, it actually negates everything he wants to do too. I don't think it destroys my cards, so I'll activate Abomination anyway. Even though he's going to automatically negate it, but it's okay, I think. I think that's fine. Okay, so now it's our turn again. Where is my field spell? I don't like this. I have a lot of the field spell, I promise. It's just not... It's not in my hand right now. It's kind of unfortunate. So... Let me think on this. I'm going to summon... Unchained Twins Rakea. Okay. I'm going to activate my Escape of the Unchained Trap card to try to destroy some of my opponent's cards. His monster will automatically stop this. And I could use Rakea to destroy my trap, but it doesn't really matter right now. It's actually just fine. We'll set a card, though, and use Rakea's effect. I'll destroy my prison. Yeah, this does activate automatically, but I don't think it negates anymore. Yeah, he has to lose attack points or whatever. So, with that in mind, my prison will activate, and I can attempt to destroy another card. I guess that works too. I'll just go ahead and attempt to destroy his face down again. I don't think it matters too much. I mean, the deck is working really good right now. But the problem right now for me is that I don't have my field spell. Oh, yeah, also he's going to destroy 2 of my cards. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. I think it's all good either way. So I'm going to go ahead and summon out Unchained Soul of Disaster. Because this will also let me use my opponent's monsters as materials. And I'll also use the effect of Rakia to summon... let me think. I could summon out Unchained Soul. That's probably... Wait. Yeah, I think that's good. Because I can summon this monster out. And then by discarding a card, I can destroy his Jet Dragon. Because I think this protects his other monsters. So we'll activate the Soul of Disaster. And then I can use these as link material to summon out the blue monster. Okay. I think that works pretty good. So we'll go ahead and attack our opponent. Again, this is cool and all. I am getting to do what I want to do in terms of the Unchained cards and the Fire King cards. But really, this deck is even better when I have the field spell. I'm not drawing it as much as I normally like to see it drawn into. I guess it's not like a big problem, but it's more unfortunate. But, you know, we still have another duel after this one. So with any luck, we'll get to see the ecoledezone field spell actually activated. That would be great. That would be the best thing, because, you know, the 100 days is all about taking various different cards and, you know, making decks around them and doing cool things with them. Alright, so these are all really good cards. I hope I hit the dragon, I think. I could be wrong. I'm not sure which card is the one I want him to have. Okay, so he'll get Roar of the Blue-Eyed Dragon. So that'll summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon, yeah. Alright, Burst Stream of Destruction. I guess I'll activate Soul of Rage anyway. I don't think it matters too much. But if I can summon out my Link 3 monster, at least he doesn't keep a monster on the field. It's better than nothing, I guess. Because now my monster's effects will activate. So Soul of Anguish will summon to my hand, I guess Sharvara. Probably the best thing to get here. Yeah. Okay. So he does get to attack me now, and so really I need to draw into one of my Unchained cards would be best. Funnily enough, I now don't want to see ecoledezone. Remind me how this is working. Let's see. This card. Okay, yeah. Yeah, let's bring back the Unchained Soul. It won't do me much good at the moment. Well, actually, no. I can just, oh, yeah, I can just discard Sharvara and destroy Jet Dragon now. And then Sharvara is going to activate. Okay, that works. That works pretty good. And my opponent, unfortunately, surrenders. I was going to get the trap to revive an Unchained monster, so I think that still works. So, good for the second duel. Our Unchained and our Fire King cards are working really good together with each other. You know, they all have that, they all like to destroy themselves, which, you know, is a thing. But I'd like to go for one more duel and try to get the ecoledezone field spell on the field. So, let's go for our last duel of the day, and with any luck, we'll get exactly what we're trying to do. Alright everyone, it's time for the third and final opponent of the day. The last chance at the romance and the fighting third and stuff like that. I really like to see my ecoledezone field, and okay, yeah, we got it. So that's good. That way, at the very least, while it did take a minute, we'll get to show off this combo. So we're going to get the multi-universe field spell as well. This is really good, because if I have my field spell in the grave, I can replace this one with that in the grave. But more importantly, this will protect field spells by banishing itself. Now, with this hand, I think we'll just summon Rakia. Aurora has the best monster to destroy with ecoledezone, because, you know, the Fire Kings like it when fire monsters get destroyed and stuff. But this works too. It's not perfect, but it's still something. So we'll summon out Sharvara. This is a monster we always want to summon out if possible. And we're going to summon out our Unchained Soul of Rage to start. So it'll be a very... It's not the ultimate combo with the deck. The ultimate thing is if you have Garunix in the hand, and then... what was it? You have Garunix in your hand, and you summon a Ruha while you have ecoledezone is the best combo. But this is at least a start to some good things. I have my chamber if I really need to revive Sharvara. And yeah, the first thing he summons every turn will get destroyed. So that's good. Yeah, he summons a Cyber Dragon, but thankfully that'll get destroyed. So that's good. So that'll destroy his Cyber Dragon. So yeah, he can still summon more monsters though, so I gotta be careful in that regard. So what is this doing? A Galaxy Soldier. Okay. I think I remember this. What was this thing he's summoning out? I think I know what to do here. I could be wrong. We'll find out in a minute, though. We'll find out. Because, yeah, he has Galaxy Soldier. He has the token he can't really do much with at the moment. Unless he chose to attack with it. The one thing is this thing can't attack directly. This, the mask token. I'm not even sure what it's supposed to be. It's like a piece of... it's like an impressionist piece of art or something. I'm not certain, but it's a really weird-looking monster token. So, we'll see. Yeah, he's got the Galaxy Soldier. He has Overload Fusion, which is not good. Isn't that the card that lets him use the cards in the grave as fusion monster? Okay. Alright. So that will allow him to summon out Rampage Dragon. And then, let's see, he's destroying my stuff. Let me think about that. I think that's fine, actually. Because, again, I have multi-universe in the graveyard. So I can protect my field spell. And him destroying my chamber will just get me another monster. Plus, I can use my Unchained Soul as well. So I think that works. Yeah, so our chamber will activate and summon another monster. Sadly, it can't revive Sharvara from the grave, but that's okay. But I'll summon out Unchained Soul. That way I can destroy my opponent's cards, I guess. But yeah, this will summon out another monster. In this case, let me think. What do I want to summon here? Do I go for Soul of Disaster? I guess that's probably the best thing, just in case. But yeah, this will activate my Soul's effect. So I'll discard a card and destroy one of my opponent's cards. And in this case, I guess I'll destroy Rampage Dragon. I guess. I think that's the best thing. I might be wrong, but this is exactly what our deck is really trying to do. I got ecoledezone. I interrupted his monsters, and then using things like my Unchained monsters, I can interrupt my opponent. If I had the Fire Sanctuary and some level 8 monsters, I could exceed summon. It'd be pretty cool. So what else can my opponent do is the question, because he has another Galaxy Soldier. Yeah, I guess he's going to activate that. Okay. What does this monster do? This doesn't do anything. Okay. But if I remember right, he's trying to summon Cyber Dragon Infinity or something of that nature. So I'm definitely going to use Unchained Soul of Rage here, because I'd rather him not do that if possible. We'll see. So, okay, you're going to attempt to overlay your two monsters. I don't think not Infinity, but, okay, my opponent is unfortunately surrendered. I think I still had that duel, though, because, yeah, if he summoned, what's the monster that comes before Infinity? I think it's Cyber Nova or something. Yeah, I could have used my Soul of Rage to link with that monster, and then my opponent really didn't have much, I don't think, so really, that was what we wanted our deck to do. We were able to summon our Unchained, and ecoledezone did what it wanted to do, and I was able to protect it. So while it took two other duels, you get an idea of what our original plan was, at least. So let's go ahead for the end screen, and we'll talk more about the deck today. Alright, everyone at home, our ecoledezone field spell deck went 3 wins out of 3 duels, which is pretty good. Unfortunately, only one of those duels was because of ecoledezone, and I'm sorry that I didn't get it out as much as I wanted to. But the deck works pretty good even without ecoledezone. You know, it's a really cool card to start the duel out with, and it can certainly throw your opponent off if you have this on the field. You know, they really have to think their plays through a little bit extra, and that can mess up what they're trying to do to the degree. But our deck works even without ecoledezone because our monsters all like to be destroyed by their own effects and whatnot. So it's very easy to get monsters on the field and do stuff. So I'm glad that the deck worked, even though we didn't get the field spell as much. But you get an idea of how this card works in the deck. It's pretty straightforward at the end of the day. So I hope everyone enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button because Memphis says that's really important. And if you'd like to subscribe, that would also be really nice as well, because that's also really cool. And so here's the deck profile for anyone who wants to play this deck yourselves and, you know, try out this old field spell that on the surface doesn't look like much, but it does some cool things. So for our main deck, we're playing the 1 copy of the Unchained Soul, 1 Garnix, 3 copies of the Sacred Fire King Garnix, 3 copies of the High Avatar Kirin, 1 Unchained Soul of Disaster, 1 Unchained Sharvara, 1 copy of Soul of Shyama, 2 copies of the Fire King Arvata, 3 copies of Courtier Ulcanix, 3 copies of our Aruha, which is like one of our strongest cards, 2 copies of Unchained Sarama, 2 copies of Unchained Rakea, and 1 copy of Legendary Ponix, 3 copies of our Abomination Prison, 1 Foolish Burial Goods, because I can discard the field spell in order to get it back and stuff. 1 Terraforming, because obviously this is a deck around field spells, so you want to get this. 1 copy of Fire King Skyburn to destroy cards. 2 copies of Fire King Sanctuary in order to exceed someone on your opponent's turn, as well as protect your field spell. 1 copy of Multi-Universe, as this was also part of the request, is to play this card. But basically, I can discard my field spell to the grave or whatever, and I can trade this card for that field spell and also protect said field spell, so it's really good. 3 copies of ecoledezone to destroy my monsters when I summon them, and also destroy my opponent's monsters when they summon them. We have our 2 copies of Escape of the Unchained and 2 copies of Abominable Chamber. This is our trap cards we search out with things like Sharvara in order to revive our monsters or destroy my opponent's cards as well. For our extra deck, we have things like Masquerena, 2 copies of Unchained Soul of Rage, 1 Soul Lord Yama, 1 Unicorn, 2 copies of Soul of Anguish, 2 Abominations, 1 Underworld Goddess if we really need it. We have things like Lancelot, Sanafond, Dingirzu, our Garunix Eternity, and our number 38, Hope Harbinger Dragon. As for the side deck, because so many cards are getting destroyed, there's a lot of things you can play as well in the deck, although you have to be careful around the Unchained, because they lock you into Fiends. But if you're not locked into Fiends, there's things like Dark Hold Dragon. This is a nice, strong monster that can search Dark Hold during the end phase. There's Mech Lord monsters if you want giant, powerful monsters. Granted, only they can attack, but it's a thing. There's also other links if you feel like you're going into those more often than not. Things like Access Code Talker and Proxy Dragon. If you find your opponent's playing a lot of spell traps that are annoying to you, you can try Cosmic Cyclone to banish those cards so that they don't become a problem. And then lastly, there's Set Rotation, which can more easily search out ecoledezone. But, you know, we're only playing the 2 kind of field spells in this deck, so it really just depends on things. So that was today's deck, everyone. I'm grateful and very thankful that you all stopped by today. Tomorrow is the 75th day of the 100 days, and I think Arthur is playing that one, and he's playing a Dynamorphia deck. So that's gonna be cool. So until next time, everyone, this is Spooky Memphis signing out. I'll see you guys again in about a week. I'm doing the GOAT format week for this year. For some reason, I'm not sure why, but I'm doing the GOAT format week on the channel. So I'll see you guys there. I got something special planned and stuff. So I'll see you all there. Until next time, everyone stay safe and happy, and have a wonderful evening. Take care, everyone.